So today we're going to be working on our 2011 Ford Transit Connect, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install your knuckle and hub assembly. Now, my bearing on my passenger side wheel is making a lot of noises, so I replaced that with this one right here. So I ended up taking this out because once I replaced that one on the passenger side, the red brake light came on my dashboard. So the actual ABS sensor that goes into the hub right here, the hole, it wasn't reading my hub correctly, the ABS. So that's why the light came on. This was, I don't know, like 60 bucks on Amazon. And, you know, sometimes you get what you pay. But this is the Detroit axle, and it wasn't that much, you know, more expensive either. So like I said, this was like almost 60 bucks, and this was like 120 bucks for both sets, front right side and the driver's side. I installed it on my passenger side, and after installing it, I took it for a quick test drive, and that light actually went out. So that means that is garbage. So don't buy this. Stick with the Detroit axle, steering knuckle, and hub assembly. So that's what we're going to install today. Basically, these are the tools that you'll need. You'll need this is a 32 millimeter socket for your axle. And some of these may vary too. This is a 24, and this is for your lower ball joint bolt. And then most of everything else, you'll just need a 15 millimeter for your brake caliper, your strut and knuckle bolt, and also your sway bar link. Okay, and then you might need a 17 here for your outer tie rod, some side cutters for your castle nut. So you'll need something to get your brake caliper out of the way, a hex wrench, but I happen to have a ratchet set for that. You'll need a 19 millimeter to take off your lug nuts. Flat screwdriver might be helpful to flatten out your cotter pin, a sledgehammer to knock off your outer tie rod, and your torque wrench to butt everything down. And of course, most importantly, is our safety jack. So that's what I want to show you guys here next, is the special safety jack that I purchased. It's a jack, and well, it's 2-in-1. Let me show you guys. So this is my new Powerbuilt Xtra low profile jack, and it's good for 4,000 pounds or 2 tons. So what's special about this is that it has a pin. So once you get your car jacked up, you can lock it in. So that means that you don't need a safety jack. This is a hydraulic jack and a safety jack, 2-in-1. How cool is that? If you guys have been following this channel very long, you know that I also have a Powerbuilt jack. This is a 3-ton. It's a bottle jack and a safety jack in one, and I use this primarily for when I go off-roading because sometimes you're in a precarious, you know, situations on the trail, and you need to jack something up, but you also want a safety stand. So this is a hydraulic or bottle jack and a safety stand in one, and that's basically what that is right there. It's a hydraulic jack with a safety pin, 2-in-1. If you guys don't have one of these pinch weld adapters, I highly recommend getting one of these if you guys are using floor jacks in your house, if you guys are DIYers. Otherwise, you guys are gonna mess up your pinch weld. So on this jack, there are 2 positions you can lock this, here and here. Go up a little bit more. Okay, there you go. And then once it's in there, you just want to let it down just a little bit. And then jack it up just a little bit. Okay, so I got some weight on the actual safety pin and the hydraulic. So now you got 2-in-1. No need for jack stands. And if you guys are interested in buying one of these, I'll leave all this in the descriptions down below, where you can buy it on Amazon. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Harbor Freight again. But this light right here, I've gone through several of these, what I call like a trouble light. And this is the best trouble light I have ever used. Now, most of these kind of style has a regular light bulb you can put in here, but this is LED. I kept the plastic on here, but it's flat, low profile, and as you guys can see, it provides plenty of light, and it comes with a little magnetic plate or a little alligator clamp like right here. You can clip it to pretty much anywhere, and it stays where you want it to. And it's, you know, and you can articulate the lights anywhere you like. So if you guys are interested in something like this, I'll put a link down below, or go down to Harbor Freight, buy one for yourself. These are like under $10, and best thing I bought under $10 at Harbor Freight. All right, guys, so there are two 15mm bolts back here for your brake caliper. You want to remove the one on the top and one on the bottom. And just slide your caliper off slowly and hang it off somewhere up to the side. Okay, and then you can take the brake rotors off. Set that off to the side. Okay, at the top of the knuckle, there's a 10mm bolt, and this is your ABS sensor that goes into the knuckle and reads on the hub. I'm going to pry this off gently. Okay, and we'll put this bolt back on here for right now so we don't lose it. And go ahead and knock our axle bolt loose. And we're not going to take it all the way off, but we're just going to knock it loose. And if you guys have one of these big impact drills, then I recommend using that. We're going to go ahead and knock this bolt loose off the outer tie rod. We're going to leave it on just a little bit. And give a couple good whacks right here on this little nipple right here. Just give a couple good bangs. Okay, looks like what I'm going to have to do is raise this whole axle up off the ground, maybe 6 inches, to get the weight off of this outer tie rod. Also, I'm going to have to lift it up anyways to take my my sway bar links, get those loosened up as well. So give me a second here. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is if you guys have another jack, this is going to be really helpful to get this taken apart, because you want to basically get your suspension at a right height level. That way all the bind is off the you know, like these joints and things like that. So right now everything is kind of sagging down and it's all binding. So we're going to raise it up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up my sway bar link. Now it won't quite come out because this got a pretty good bind on it. So what we're going to do is jack up my suspension to take the weight off of the sway bar link. And once the weight is off the sway bar link, it will also take the weight off my outer tie rod and also my strut to my knuckle. And you'll know you've gone high enough when this is like that, loose. And then from there you can just slide it off, okay? And maybe just, there you go, leave it like that, that's fine. Okay, so now we can come back here with the hammer and bang that corner right there. There we go. So that's loose. Let me go ahead and loosen this up. Take the nut off of this. Okay. I'm going to go and put the nut back on. Just give it a little light tap. Okay. Okay. There we go. Put the nut back on just a little bit so you don't lose it. Okay, and then the last bolt is going to be this knuckle that attaches to your strut. So that's also a 15mm. And you can just go ahead and take that bolt all the way out. And if you see rust on here or debris, make sure you guys clean that up with a wire brush. We'll go ahead and lower down our jack. And now we're going to need our 24mm socket to undo the bolt on the lower ball joint. These things usually have a castle nut, and this one doesn't have it. I wonder if this is aftermarket. Okay, so without being loose, this thing should come off pretty easy. So let me go and turn the camera. Actually, you guys can see that pretty good. So the trick to getting this thing off now, we got the axle nut right here. We'll take that off real quick. And we should be able to just basically shake this, push this axle through a little bit, and you want to take the lower control arm. So you just want to push down this lower control arm and slide the axle. Well, just hold the axle, doesn't come out all the way. And you should be able to move it out of the way like this. And then this should just pop right out. This should come off of your strut right here, and it's not coming off, so I'm gonna take my sledgehammer and just give it a light tap. It's probably just rested on here. There we go. There we go, just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna come back with a wire brush and get all this rust removed. All right, so I want to show you guys what you guys get in the packet. You get new axle nut. And this is again a one-piece assembly where you got your lower ball joint, your knuckle, and your hub all in one assembly. And before you guys can move forward, you want to make sure you just remove the lower castle nut and the cotter pin from the ball joint. Okay, and then everything else is ready to go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and slide our ball joint in. Just put your nut on here so it doesn't keep it from falling out. You want to make sure that this strut is straight. There is a like a flat bar behind on the strut on the back side, and that's got to fit in the slot on this knuckle right here. So make sure that your strut is straight. Here we go. There. And go ahead and clean up this bolt. Okay, and then thread that bolt in there. All right, just get it snug. We'll go ahead and slide our outer tie rod on. Okay, and then we're going to bring our jack back over. So once again, we're just going to raise this. So we can get our sway bar link in here. We have to put our brake line or our ABS brake cable bracket on the sway bar. And now we can slide our, let me clean this up here. We can slide, just be careful when you clean this up. You don't want to break this. There's a magnetic pickup on your hub. You can slide that right into the slot on the hub. And you're going to tighten it down with your 10 millimeter. Sorry, your 8 millimeter. Always hand start it. And this will get torqued down to 180 foot-pounds. Okay, so at this point we can go ahead and lower the jack. Okay, we're going to torque down our strut here on the knuckle to 70 foot-pounds. And the outer tie rod is 35 pounds. Oop, it's probably too tight. And this is also, this is 37 pounds on your outer tie rod. And then this one is 35 pounds. Here's the rebar link. Okay. And the lower ball joint is 111 foot-pounds. And remember, this is a castle nut. So once you get it torqued down, just twist it just enough so you can get your cotter pin in there. Okay, and then pull that cotter pin tab over. 180 foot-pounds on the axle nut. Okay. While we slide our brake caliper back on here. So as long as you didn't touch the brakes, this should just slide right on. There we go. And then put your bolts back in the back. And these are 98 foot-pounds. So that's all there's to it.